All right, so we want to call the meeting to order. We got three members of the PBC here. Kevin is not here. And we still have a vacancy, so we have a quorum. So, first item on the agenda is the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was June 18th.
Make a motion to accept them
Okay.
as written.
Bob made a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Correspondence, we have a pay app here. Steve for, M. O'Connor, that's been signed. I'll put that in the selectmen's mailbox along with the meeting minutes. We have a couple other announcements here. One is there's a fall meeting scheduled for Monday, October 20th, 7 PM at the Norton High School. Any warrant articles will be accepted until 3:30 PM on August 28th. I don't envision us having any, so I'll just put that over there. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Also, we have a letter here from Mike Units that Kevin has been reappointed to the PBC, and his term will expire on June 30th, 2028. And then the last item here is the annual town report, which is scheduled to be published in January. We just need to provide our report, so I'll work on that. That's it
And
for
I
correspondence.
will help you.
Yep, thank you. And that's it for correspondence. So Steve, you wanna go through an update for senior center?
Yes, Brian, I can do that. So, a fair amount of things happened towards the end of June, since the last PBC meeting. We have reached an agreement with Seaver for settling the contract. Essentially, they're going to be providing us a $130,000 credit for owner back charges and incomplete monetized punch list and the asphalt lip. This was the culmination of meetings that were started back in December between DBBW, Vertex, the town manager, and Seaver. And we finished up essentially on the 26th of June, and it sort of spilled over a little bit to the first week of July. But a change order is going out, which will be a final change order number 9. Now, there was a little over $10,000 of additional work that was completed, that was agreed to be on whatever the final change order is. So that total number that you're going to see at some point once there's a couple signatures on it, or at least the interim town manager will, is about $119,335 credit to the project.
You said-
Now,
Yep.
that is for, that goes for the very specific things I talked about. It does not absolve them from any warranty work. And the big item that is the warranty that's an ongoing issue is the roofing shingle issue. We did work on that over the last month. There were, the way GAF, who is the material supplier, who the claim has been filed with, did need some information from the owner, which we got. Chris Otto was able to get that, essentially proof of ownership and an owner's signature on the form. Greenwood Industries, who's the roofer, filled out all the rest of the information, and we looked at it. So that has been filed with GAF, and we're supposed to be having an update call sometime this week with Seaver, Greenwood, and ourselves, just to see where that all stands at this point. But it was, I'd say that was also probably the third or fourth week of June when all that got put together and submitted. So that is still there, and then there's still, also part of the agreement, none of the warranties are going to go away. until either 1 year is up or the extended period is up. So, for instance, just today, I got an email from Beth that they're having a problem with the dishwasher, one of the dishwashers, that it doesn't work. So, we're working on that because the manufacturer of this dishwasher says, well, the warranty's up, and it isn't. I mean, the warranty period for the senior center doesn't expire until September 5th. So we've got a little bit of back and forth, I think, with some of these vendors, because a lot of them, they think they start the warranty from the day of delivery, and that isn't how it works. And then there was also a question of whether they had all the training on the kitchen equipment, which I thought they did, but Beth said that they didn't, so we're gonna track that down, make sure that didn't slip through the cracks. There was a previous issue with a warming cabinet. That vendor came out and did make some repairs to that, and that item is now off the warranty list. And the only other thing is Pro AV, which is a separate contract direct with the town. They've got some work to finish up. I know the programming on the message board in the corridor has to be completed. They did end up replacing one display in its entirety. They thought they could replace the power unit, but they weren't able to. So that has been taken care of. But I've asked them for an update of when they're coming back for both the senior center and the town hall. And I'll talk about the town hall later, but I know they're waiting for some new material to be delivered. So that's pretty much the update on the senior center. And just going back, as far as that asphalt lip, before Mike Units left, he was gonna talk with Jared at the highway department, to have them put in their schedule to make the necessary repairs to lower that lip at the front entry and the side entrance. And again, we held money on that as a warranty item, because Seaver just wasn't doing anything with it, and their site guy is long gone. So that was part of the agreement. Any questions on senior center?
Yeah, I have a few. A general question, we're taking this $119,000 back, where does that go? It goes into some type of fund for this? Because we still have to complete some of these items, right?
Well, essentially, you're gonna take over the lawns
Correct.
and the rain garden areas. I went over there, I met with Chief Clark and Chris Honor on Monday, just to go over these things, give him an update on what was going on. So I swung through the senior center, when I was there, and the grass is better than it was probably 2 months ago, and I think a lot of it has to do with the amount of rain that we've had. But it does need to be cut, and there's probably some overseeding that needs to be done. So we've talked all along about not necessarily having the town go into the landscaping business. So, I think a decision has to be made is are you gonna hire someone to do some slice seeding, some overseeding, top dressing, whatever? Or, are you going to, maintenance-wise, as far as cutting goes, that's really a highway department thing at this point. Or are you going to, see how it may or may not come in and then just address certain areas?
Okay, I guess my question is, where do those funds go so they don't get absorbed somewhere else to pay for the rest of it? Do we keep it in the account for this project? Or does it go into a separate account like an escrow until we
What you don't want it to do is roll back into the,
General fund.
General fund.
Yeah, cause then we can't fix the lawn, so the money needs to be held
has to be
somewhere.
earmarked for.
Earmarked, yeah,
For
correct.
that purpose.
Yeah, I think you leave it in this account, which
Okay.
is like a one account at this point,
Okay.
until you decide we're all set and you can be used somewhere else.
So, okay, so it sounds like the landscaping is still has to be finalized in some fashion, right? The sidewalk ceiling, that's another one?
Yeah, that was to correct some sloppy sealant work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then, I'm just going through our minutes, so I don't know if you have them in front of you. What about the digital sign, was that all done? That's all done, right?
That's complete, yes.
Closed, okay.
And that wasn't a Seaver item anyway.
No, it's just it was on here, everything else is closed, that one was still open. Then we had the curb stops. Is that still gonna be out of that same fund?
I've kept that on their warranty list.
Alright, so that's warranty, okay. Just wanna make sure we update this quick.
That was the other thing that was on the warranty list.
Then we had the kitchen, CO alarm, that was just, again, that was warranty, was that resolved? Because it said the gas valve was not closing, then it was repaired, and then there was supposed to be additional training from Norton Fire Department. I don't know if that was ever done. Remember the chief was here?
That became a little bit bigger issue. It ultimately ended up being a dirty smoke detector up in one of the units, which
Okay.
sort of pushed the issue of getting a maintenance, service agreement with an HVAC, contractor. I did talk to Chris about that on Monday. He approached General Mechanical a number of times. General Mechanical was the installer of that system. He did not get any response from them and has now gone to Cam HVAC, who did the town hall,
Mm-hmm,
and has a quote from him and maybe a couple others. So he says he's very close to, putting a contract in place for, HVAC maintenance at the senior center.
okay,
It appears what happened along the way was we put a lot of contracts in place for the town hall. That's what the town manager was.
yeah,
But as far as the community building, it seems like some of that kind of fell through, so we have to go backtrack a bit to make sure we have the same kind of services we have in this building over at the other building. So we have to follow up on that to make sure that's being done.
okay.
And I saw a guy the other day changing out the air filters up in the attic. He was going through the HVAC and pulling all the filters out,
Okay, good,
and that should be done.
And maybe, he might have the contract already in place then, Bob.
maybe.
Yeah, he came down the stairs with a load of
Or was
them.
was it a town guy or was it,
No, it was
contract?
outside service.
Okay.
Alright, vendor repairs, so then we had the warming up items that was repaired, then we had the gas fireplace flame height. I don't know, again.
That was taken care of. Chris went down, got on the phone with Advantage, who was the fireplace vendor.
Mhm.
There was a syncing issue between the remote and the controller in the wall, and they figured that out, and it's off the list.
Okay. You have a question, Jim?
Yeah, is the architect's punch list complete?
There was the the couple items on there that we've now taken back as a credit, which was the lawns, the rain garden, and the sloppy sealant.
So
Those
the
are-
the
everything else is
surplus
done.
of $139,000, if we have to meet with you a couple of more times, there's your expenses, and if we meet with the architect, there's those expenses, correct?
Yeah.
I guess what he's asking, is your
Yeah.
contract exhausted, or is there gonna be additional services from yourself and the architect?
We are trying to finish up and not have any more meetings with anybody, but we do have to close out the project. I
Okay,
mean,
so,
M. O'Connor just finished the phase 3 change order at the end of June.
okay,
And, we'll get into that later, but, you have the roof warranty issue also that's still there, so you
Okay.
have funds. Right now, my budget is not exhausted yet, so
okay.
I'm still working off my original budget.
So I guess my next question is, so these items don't fall through the cracks, who's gonna spearhead, the lawn, the rain garden, the sealant, any of these items that are outstanding? Are you still gonna keep track of them? Or is there somebody in the town that's gonna kinda grab the baton and make sure these things are remedied?
Is Chris gonna do that, Mark? Is Chris gonna be the guy in charge of, obviously you guys aren't gonna be worrying about the grass and the asphalt, all that's going back into our fund. So I would assume that we're gonna have to come up with a way to get some bids or do it ourselves or whatever we're gonna do
Procure somebody, yeah.
to make somebody that would make sure it gets done. And if we don't, I don't think if we don't take a responsibility for it, building committee, I think it's gonna fall through the cracks.
Okay,
So I think we need to start working with Beth and with Jared to figure out what Jared wants to do. Because what happens with these, when you take money back like this, 119,000, it goes back into that account. I don't know that Jared can put in for billing for his manpower, because he already has a budget. So it kind of puts him in a gray area too, where he's taking time out of his own people to have to make these corrections. So, I guess we'll have to have some clarity on it, but just to be clear, you're not involved in this. We got the 119,000 back. We've got a garden, and we've got a rain garden, and we've got a grass, and we've got some asphalt issues and some concrete issues. So we're gonna deal with that ourselves. Is that your understanding?
Yes, I mean, obviously, we're here to help when we can and give guidance. We're not going away, but the idea is that we're not necessarily going to be, going out and finding a vendor for this.
Right.
And really, the only
Yeah.
vendor that you may wanna even consider is a landscaper.
Right.
yeah, which we could go out to bid,
Because
yeah.
Mike was gonna have a conversation with Jason,
Jared,
Jared
Jared.
in regard to the asphalt. Now, I don't know whether he did or not. I mean, it was his last week, but it was on his list to do.
So we don't lose track of this, Steve, can you maybe issue a letter that summarizes the settlement? That says, here's the final dollar value, which will get left in the senior center account, and it's to be applied to these following items. So, yeah, so we can track them. Does that make sense? Excluding the roof, because that's a separate issue. Does that make
Yeah, I
sense?
can- I mean,
A
I
quick
can-
summary, just so we can
send
have
you
it.
the bullet points that I'm
Perfect.
reading off of here that I use for my own notes. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
That's not an issue. I can send it to you. You can send it to the committee members.
And if you put a recommendation, town to solicit new landscaper to take care of A, B, and C, DPW to take care of A, B, and C kind of thing, then we can track it better.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
I think that, we ought to look into a landscaper at least until July first, so that Jared can be prepared for the man hours of maintenance, and he can put it in next year's budget. Because, I know we're giving the town two large areas of maintenance that Jared probably doesn't wanna handle, but it's gotta be taken care of at least until Jared's next budget. He may be willing to take it on, knowing that he only has to mow the lawn once every 3 weeks, and he can do it. The one around the town hall is right next door to where his office is, so if a guy comes back in from doing potholes or something, he can do it. But I think we ought to suggest, if it's within our power, to the select board, that they look into hiring a landscaper so that we can get the top dressing and spot seeding done by a professional. Cause I'm not saying that Jared isn't a professional landscaper, but I think a professional landscaper would do the top seeding and top dressing much better than anybody else, but,
and I agree, and Jared's been cut one person this year.
yeah.
So he's already behind the eight ball, even with the new buildings. He hasn't been touching these buildings because he's been told not to.
Right,
So if we're giving him the heads up to mow the grass, I'm sure he'll take care of it. He's very much aware he's gonna have to take care of it. He just so far hasn't, I think he came out here one day and started doing some mowing here, and the manager told him to
yeah,
stop.
he
He
did,
did, yes,
I think he
yeah.
did mowing once
Yeah.
somewhere, but.
So, but now he's very much aware that he's gonna have to take care of this. And I agree with you too, Jim, that you hire a professional company, come in and do the seeding, get it done right, get it established, get the garden worked on, Let's have Jared take a look at the asphalt and the concrete. And if that's something he doesn't feel like he should be able to
Right.
touch, then we get somebody to do it.
Yeah, the concrete is a cosmetic issue, the asphalt raising, I think in past discussions has been Jared getting out, he does, I think he mentioned that he does have a grinder, so it would be a half-day thing to go up and just grind the lips down. I don't foresee it to be a big project, but I'm not a contractor or a blacktopper either, but,
You may wanna try to roll it first.
The one thing to think
Yeah.
about though, in reality, if everything had been done on time, they would have been mowing at least the senior center lawn at this point anyways. So, you know, we still, as far as the town hall, goes, we still, requiring M. O'Connor's landscaper to do, the mowing and maintenance. He hasn't been released on that yet. But the senior center, as far as cutting goes, I'm not saying, I agree with you with the seating and top dressing or whatever, but, you know, they could probably, highway could probably mow it, and it's a fairly simple lot.
Yeah, I think what we wanna consider is not putting the burden on to Jared to establish it.
Right.
Use the money we have left over, hire a landscaper to do it, and then once it's established, then he can maintain it.
Yeah, it's a good time to be doing it anyway, going out for bids and all that, because you don't wanna do it until fall now
We wanna do it
anyway.
September anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
wait till September and get your application.
So how do we
in.
get to that process that we need to solicit? Is that something the select board?
I can follow up
You
on
can
it.
follow up with the
Yeah.
town manager?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll work with the town manager, if you guys don't mind, I'll talk to him about it.
Okay,
I can work with Jared too,
yeah,
you know, and just
Just-
come up with a
a quick,
plan. We're not gonna have a new town manager probably for another 5 or 6 weeks, so, but in the meantime, I'll work with Chief Clark
yeah,
and Jared.
makes sense. So we have
And
somebody lined
we'll-
up for the fall.
We'll take these one at a time and figure out what needs to be done, that's
Okay.
all.
yeah, I think
You
it's
know,
only,
a lot of time highway probably has a subcontractor that may do like curbing and sidewalks on you know, unit price blanket purchase agreement. There may be someone that's already on board
For repairs.
outside that may be able to, you know, do the seeding too.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
The contract may already be in place.
We have contracts with Southeastern Purchasing Group, where they go out
Yeah.
and get all these different prices for all these different things. So, yes, you're right, Steve, he may already have these people in place. So we just have to find out who they are and have them give us a price on what it's gonna take to get it done.
I
Okay,
know LAL did did that sidewalk work out in front of the senior center, and that was on that SERGE,
Oh, that
whatever
surge,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, that highway work we had to
on
do.
that contract.
okay. Alright. So then Pro AV, we said is still ongoing, right? The rec room?
They're very close to it. I think the biggest thing is doing the programming on that signboard, so I've asked them, you know, what's the issue, and let's get it done, and providing training.
And that's the signboard out in the lobby?
So, yeah, on the back side of the fireplace in the corridor.
Okay. Okay, just wanna make sure I'm not confusing it with the exterior. Alright,
Not the exterior, no.
any questions, or we move on town hall?
No, I will make sure that 119,000 goes back into this account, though. I don't want that to suddenly get flopped over into the general fund, and then we never get our hands on it again.
Exactly.
So I'll make sure that's protected also with
Yeah.
Clark.
So once we get a letter from Steve, that'll at least be our
Yeah.
backup. Okay, that works.
Well, we really don't wanna start closing out any of these accounts anyways. There's still invoices that we're weeding through, there's still things that are
Correct.
coming in that we didn't realize that were purchased that are being requested to be applied to the project, so, and again, it's more so the town hall, but, you know, the senior center is, I mean, I sort of lump it into one major project at this point, so.
Okay,
Yep.
alright, if nobody has any questions, we can move on to town hall. Okay, alright,
Okay,
Steve, town hall.
So town hall, for all intents and purposes, the phase 3 change order, for, Old Town Hall, / fire station is complete except for the landscaping, which, will be in the fall of this year. We wanted them to finish it, but they didn't. So what they did is they sprayed a tackifier on that to sort of control the weed and stabilize, so if you know, you look out there, you see that brownish look, that's That's there just to, so we don't have a
Erosion, right?
field of weeds.
Oh.
There are a couple areas that I took pictures of the other day that they're gonna have to come in and cut, but it's on the other side of the fire station, between, fire station and the library.
Okay.
So that's the old town hall, the new town hall, so the commissioning of the select board meeting room audio visual after, a number of change orders and, some warranty work, which they're actually coming in for something else that was just reported, coming in on the 25th. But the commissioning of that is now scheduled for August 1st. And that will be with the, audiovisual, subcontractor and the, Centec, the, design engineer.
Okay.
Like I said, we are still sorting out some invoices for purchases by IT, some AV purchases, making sure that they are applicable to the town hall project. So I'm sort of working a bunch of those things with Jen Reed. Like I said, also Pro AV, they were given a couple of change orders on the town hall, so I know they're waiting for delivery of some equipment, and they'll come back. I think from the base contract, everything is in, again, with the exception of programming the message boards.
Striping was done.
And we've had input from both Ray Cord and, Jason from, Norton TV on a bunch of things, so, Pro AV had all the conference rooms where CCS had the select board meeting room, and CCS was under the M. O'Connor contract. So, you basically have a couple of AV guys coming in and out of there. There is still, and it's come up again, there's an issue which, again, I'm working with Jen on for the temp power that was being used by, KR Resendez and the Mass DOT project when they did 123, because they had their laydown area where, essentially the new parking lot is now. They had brought in power. National Grid was way late in sending in invoices. When M. O'Connor came on board, there was a power drop with a meter already set up. So we connected to that, took a reading on what the meter said. We squared up with M. O'Connor, but anything that was before them coming on board, we've done an analysis and sent it back, and Resendez continues to be uncooperative.
Well, I think we handed bill to Clemmy, since he was collecting rent on property we owned that the Mass DOT was on. Remember I put up a stink about that? And I think you shouldn't have sent the bill to Clemmy.
Well,
I told you this was gonna happen. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, National Grid didn't help by sending invoices like a year late and then sending like 10 all at once as they tried to catch up. But the fact is, Resendez had trailers there, they had power to the trailers, and power isn't free. So,
what's the order of magnitude on this, do you know?
14,000 plus.
That's a big electric bill. For 2 job trailers?
They probably left the air conditioning on.
Probably, I was gonna say, those don't take that much.
At a Christmas tree.
So Resendez is not responding, or just the rejecting?
They're arguing, yes, and surprisingly, so is the PM from Mass DOT. There's quite a few emails. This isn't something that was necessarily ignored. But they, always said is, you owe the town this, pay it. And, I mean, I don't have any jurisdiction over them. That's you know, I wasn't involved in that contract, but
And none of us
all I
were.
did- all I did was take the readings and then look at the cost per kilowatt.
So. for
Do we know
this-
why they waited 10 months to send a bill?
No, they're just lazy.
Well, there's a lot of noise going on at the state level right now about people getting bills stacked up and getting one bill after 3, 4, 5 months. I know the state's creating some legislation now where they're gonna waive some of that.
Yeah, if
So
you,
if we get between a rock and a hard spot, I think we should probably look at that. I would make the companies pay for what they're supposed to be using and paying for, but if we get into a rock spot, hard spot, we can, maybe push back a bit ourselves.
I mean, the tricky part is, it was the state contract with Resendez, right? They were the contractor? That used job trailers that were on our property, and then the electrical was being provided to them. They were the user, not us, but we're getting the
Oh, I
bill.
see. Okay,
Do you see what I mean? That's what I was trying to avoid, but
okay.
anyway, so I guess we pushed back. We're all set, cause like you said, we got a
Stay
meter
out of it.
reading, so everything for us after a certain point, we
Yeah,
paid for.
stay
We're
out
paid
of
in
it.
whole, right, Steve?
Correct.
So it's everything before us, and somebody's looking for their money. It's like, well, go after
Yeah,
Resendez.
we'll stay out of it.
But who was the meter under? Was it under the town of Norton, or was it under Resendez or Mass DOT?
It was under the town of Norton, that's why all the bills came in.
Mhm, told you. Haha, that's not good. Well, maybe town council can write a nice little letter to Resendez. Peter's laughing too.
Well, why don't we turn it over to the Board of
Yeah, select
Selectmen
board. We can't.
as
do
an
it.
outstanding item for them to try to straighten out, in that we've done all the footwork for them. All they have to do is go to Steve and get the meter readings and the past correspondence, hand it to the town council and let the town council handle it.
Can you send me some information, Steve?
This is what I would recommend. Jen Reed is trying to handle it now.
Okay,
Let her see how far she gets. If she throws up her hands, then it's probably time, you guys to get involved.
I'll check with Jen. I'll check.
Okay.
She just picked it up, again, really, last week and is trying to untangle it, so. Cause she sent me a couple emails looking for some information. And one I've responded and one I have to get her something, that she asked for
I
yesterday.
mean, unfortunately, it sounds like we're gonna get stuck holding the bag, but who do we go after to get reimbursed?
Well, I don't understand how a state project ends up billing the town for electricity, but that's a whole nother fight for another day. But
But again, originally it was on Calamity's property until it got transferred to the town.
yeah, it was on town, on
We-
a private property that wasn't his.
So that meter must have been there, Steve, way before the town purchased the land.
Alright,
So I don't understand why, not to get you involved, cause you weren't on it either, but I had a,
I mean, the other thought has been, and I don't know if anybody's done it, and we brought it up before, is to see in the building department, the electrical inspector would have had to
Permit.
inspect that meter socket before the meter went in. Who called them to inspect that?
yeah, who pulled the permit, yeah.
Yeah, again, this is going back to maybe what?
3
I'm
years
not sure
ago.
when it's, 21 maybe?
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't
3
know
years ago.
when that project started.
Oh, that started a while ago, cause it kept going during the pandemic, I think.
Okay, maybe it was earlier, yeah,
Yeah.
I know road work takes a while.
It was like a 5-year project, and it probably finished 2 years ago, cause they were there a long time. Okay, well, I don't wanna beat a dead horse.
Well, they were there and then they went away for a few months and they came back.
Yeah,
But I'm
'Cause-
sure the equipment was
cause
still running.
I
so-
remember we eventually kinda told them, take a hike, get off our property, and they put all their curbing over behind the DPW in the woods, remember? Alright, well, it's another sleazy deal from Ghost of Christmas Past. Okay, where we leave off, Steve, I didn't mean to distract you, we're at the
That's
plaza,
okay.
right? The
So
plaza's
I-
next?
I got one other thing
Okay.
to give an update on, so, the plaza concrete issue. So, we gave M. O'Connor and really their subcontractor numerous chances to remedy the appearance of the exposed aggregate, plaza out in front of the town hall. and this was something that M. O'Connor didn't disagree with the issue, but had a fight with their subcontractor, moved on to others, and, we had been waiting for, proposals for them as to what the remedy would be. We finally got it again, end of June, and it was exactly what we didn't want. They came back with 2 proposals to put coatings on the plaza, concrete, and even in their email, they said, we're pretty sure this isn't what the town wants, but these are the recommendations we're getting from the companies that are in this business. So, I didn't dwell on it too much, that isn't what we wanted. So, what we've done is we've rejected those proposals. We've, requested a credit of $100,000 to accept non-compliant work. We want them to repair the cracks that are out there, and some of the divots and blemishes using sealant. Clean the plaza of all dirt and debris, and apply clear sealer to the entire exposed aggregate plaza, not the regular concrete, but just the plaza area. And then go ahead and install their sealants in the control joints, that is base contract work, and then put in the benches that are stored down by the highway department. Touch up the landscaping that gets disturbed, coordinate with anything that's going on at the town hall, and, protect the building. And there was also a PCO that we had not approved, but it was still pending for some revised grading. We requested they void that one out. So, after about a week, I asked for a response, because I didn't hear anything. So far, the only thing that they've asked for was to give them location of cracks that we want repaired. So when I was out on Monday, I walked the plaza. I took pictures of everything that I felt needed to be addressed. I did not hear anything back about the request for the credit, or any of the other. I got like 12 conditions that I wanted them to meet. So, I have a feeling that they're going to accept that, and then they'll come in, do the work that I'm asking, clean it up, seal it, and then finish the joints and the benches.
So we're not gonna replace it, we're just gonna take a credit for
Yes.
poor quality. So again, another thing,
Cause it does function as a walkway.
yeah,
I mean, people have been walking on it since, last September.
it's aesthetics, it's not safety, it's not, it's not trip hazards, right? It's just aesthetics.
Correct,
So,
correct.
the question is, we take the $100,000 back, again, it goes back into the pot, but do we
Correct.
save it and say that, look, this might deteriorate in the next 5 years? Should we put it in escrow or something? So if that needs to be replaced in 5-10 years, we have the money versus going back to town again. I don't know if we can do that.
I think probably something we're gonna have to do.
Yeah. Know what I mean, Steve? I know it's
I
internal.
don't think that's gonna deteriorate any more than it is. I mean, it's concrete.
Yeah, it's,
It,
let's salt it
you
a
know,
few years. see what
maybe you,
happens.
maybe you reseal it after 5 or 7 years.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that'll be additional costs, so
Right.
can we put it in a
Well,
rainy day fund
We can
for it?
find out, we can check.
Yeah, I would look into that, so at least we have it if we need it. As soon as
Yeah,
we give it back in general fund, it's
that's
gone.
an internal decision.
Yeah, exactly, so Bob will review with the select board what we think best thing to do. Okay. Anything else?
No, and then like I said, I did sit down with Chief Clark and Chris, and I walked through basically what I walked through now. And, there's, and Town Hall, there's still a few things on the warranty list that have to be taken care of, and those haven't been closed out yet, but, they're somewhat minor, some screw heads up poppings, a couple of gaps here and there. some carpet to baseboard. So we're in pretty good shape, in the building, and, I really haven't heard that many issues coming back from the town hall.
Good.
Beyond the audio visual in the select board meeting room. So that's all I have.
Okay. Anything else?
Enough.
All right. Jim?
Have you heard anything from the fire department as far as, the phase 3 work? Any complaints or anything that, you're working on?
I haven't heard anything, no.
Okay.
And we didn't hear, that brings up another question. We talked last time, one of our new business, they were gonna, I think they were gonna estimate that entire job and see where they're at, see if they needed the OPM kind of thing. I don't know where that stands. You know, they're kinda
Well,
doing their own thing.
I think well,
We said, ask for help if you need it, but we don't know if they need it.
my feeling is, we told Deputy Wilson that we are here to help him. We'll let them move on with their project and, come back to us if they need any help. I don't think we should be sticking our nose in there until they have a definitive plan. I'm not allowed to, speak of the future, so I won't. So I just wait until the fire chief come back and say he needs X amount of money for an X amount of project.
Okay.
And that money will come probably from another account anyway, it's not gonna come from here.
Right. I think we're done with the phase 3 project. They got what we got what we wanted. We got demolition of the old town hall. We got a wall up. We got satisfactory interior work. Now it's up to the fire department of the town to do whatever they want with the new old fire station and the new wall and all that stuff, so.
And I know they're working on it themselves, they're on their own spare time, they're doing some repairs on there right now themselves, so. They continue to do that, they won't have to worry about coming up with too much money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we put in the next meeting? So on Steve's side, it sounds like it's the roof at the senior center. All these other items are gonna get kicked back to us.
Yep.
So I don't think Steve really needs, other than his letter, he doesn't need to be involved with that too much. And the town hall, again, it's mostly, sorry, wrong page. Most of the stuff is done, the landscaping's in the fall. There's that punch list for the commissioning for the AV. There's not much left, right, Steve? So,
Correct.
and we're gonna take money for the plaza, so there's really like 1 or 2 items for each one. So do we need another, if the roof sounds like it may drag into September anyway.
Why don't we plan on having our next meeting when we have to have it?
Yeah, and then we'll see if
Just let
Steve,
us
you
know
need.
when we have to meet and we'll figure out.
It's
a
easier to
date.
cancel than it is to
Yeah.
set one up,
So so why don't we make it, should we do a Wednesday still? Works for me. Maybe the
Yeah.
27th? And if the roof drags out, there's nothing to talk about. If landscaping in the
Right.
townhouse not gonna be September anyway, so really, if it's nothing to do with this end grid thing or the roof, there's nothing to talk about, we'll just push it out to mid-September, and then by then, the landscaping, hopefully we can wrap our head around it. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I would like the chairman to invite Beth to the meeting next time. Bob, he may be on vacation, I have no idea, but it's hard to go blind about things that the dishwasher just popped up. She may have some other things that
We don't know about.
we don't know about, but I think it would be to our advantage to have her here so that she can present to us any problems or concerns she has, as she's the tenant of the building.
I agree, I think, where the warranties are gonna run out in some cases in September.
Yeah,
We need that last push so we can
yeah.
at least notify them there's an issue before they expire.
Right.
So
And
speaking of that, it just, we will be doing a 1-year warranty inspection, so
Okay.
in August,
Do you know if it'll be before our meeting?
the architect and myself, we'll go and tour the buildings and obviously talk to people and get that list before that, that warranty expires.
For both or just the senior center?
No, we'll do the senior center, we'll do the town hall. Town hall, expires on September 25th.
So they're pretty close to each other.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe that can get done early August, so we can discuss it in the meeting if we need to? Okay. All right.
And as far as a contact for the town hall, I know Bob is in and out of here as a select board member probably 5 times a week. And he's in and out of here doing other stuff. I think he's got his thumb on what the issues may be here, or I don't think there's any need to invite Chris here, because I think Chris will communicate with people he sees here, so I'm not trying to be unfair to Beth, I just don't want things to fall through the cracks there, that's all.
Yeah, we seem to find out about things secondhand. Okay. I'll make a motion to adjourn?
So
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We set a date,
Yes,
was
the
the
27th,
27th, 6
same bat
PM.
time, same bat channel. And if we need to cancel it, we'll cancel it.
Yep.
All
I'll
right,
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, everybody.
Hey,